Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode you've got a world exclusive. We're going to be showing you a brand new product from Mantec, and no, it's not a pizza. Now, I've been working with Mantec for quite a few months developing this product, and it's something you guys have seen before and you really like the concept, but we've taken it to the next level and designed something that should be sort of more compatible with lots of different Defenders out there on the market, depending on how they're built. So yes, it is a brand new gas-assisted strut for the rear door. Now, there are a number of gas strut assist systems on the market, and they range from, I don't know, about 40 quid to 140 quid. So hopefully the Mantec version is going to be positioned in the lower segment, because we've gone to a lot of trouble of sort of sourcing the parts direct within the UK. So every part of this kit is made in the UK, and we've tried to slim down and make the design a little bit neater, and as well added an extra function that you won't find on any other system. We've got a backing plate which goes inside the top of the roof. We have got the support bracket that fits onto the door, and you'll notice that's a lot slimmer and neater than other ones on the market. Now, the third part to the kit obviously is the gas strut, and what makes this gas strut so unique in its design is it's got an adjustable valve on here. So what that means is, depending on how strong an assist you want from your gas strut, you can fine tune this down so that it's not swinging out fast enough to take out a small child. So if you've got nothing on the back of your door, like we haven't on here, you can just set it as low as you want and it will just still perform brilliantly. But if you've got maybe a big swing weight wheel carrier on there, or you've got really sort of stiff old hinges, you can leave it pressurized a little bit more and it should do the job just as well. So I'm going to show you how this all fits together. It's really simple. I'm going to show you how to do the adjustment, and I'm going to show you how it will vary in different applications. So the first thing we need to do is get our bracket mounted onto the door. Now, the way we designed this bracket is to give you lots of different options of mounting it. So as other versions work, it actually mounts onto the hinge bolts on the door itself. Now, there's a few different types of doors. Obviously, if you go to a later Puma door, the frame is slightly different, but the way this works differently is it's got an additional mounting plate here that we can actually anchor onto the door itself. So you don't get any more of this sort of stressed bracket, you don't get any more twisting, you're not putting extra strain on those bolts. It gives it a nice secure anchor point. And you've got two possibilities there, well, three really. You could not bother fitting this at all. If you've got a really lightweight door, it probably wouldn't be required. The second way to do it, which we'd recommend, is by using the supplied riv nut that you get in here. So you could actually drill a hole in here, which is what we're going to do, and mount the riv nut. If you didn't want to do that or didn't have a riv nut tool, there's two additional holes either side there, which will allow you to use self-tapping screws or a rivet. So first things first, we need to mark where our holes go. So to do that, we literally just remove our bolts. Do you know what? I'm really looking forward to getting this mounted, because this door will not stay open. It doesn't even need a gnat's fart to make it shut. It just keeps shutting by itself. So it'll be so nice to actually have something on here to stop it. Right, so we get our bracket and we basically pass it over these two holes here. Pretty simple. And then we're going to do our nuts up. Don't have to do them tight, it's just for positioning. These are E-coated plates, so this is made out of steel and it's got an E-coat on it. It's a really nice finish, and as I said before, it's made in the UK, so it's all laser cut in the UK, sourced, supplied for Mantec in the UK. You've obviously got some movement there because the bolts are loose, so you want to get it in the uppermost position. And you can see here, I'm just going to mark my door. Okay, we can leave those bolts off because it won't make the door come off or anything. Right, so in the kit you get all stainless fixings. Again, these are supplied for us by YRM, so we've tried to work with a number of different UK companies to make sure that all the hardware for this kit is of the best possible quality. So I've centre punched my hole, I've piloted it with a 4mm, then I've gone to an 8 and then a 10, because if you go straight in with a big drill bit, you're going to sort of twist and deform the metal frame because it's not that thick. And then we're going to set our riv nut. So obviously we get a riv nut supplied, but you do need a riv nut setting tool. If you don't have one of these, you can, as I said before, you can either use rivets or some self-tapping screws. In the kit, you get a stainless bolt and a small washer. So offer that on. Don't do it up yet. Now do your bolts up for your door. So those bolts now sit nice and flush. So there's plenty enough thread on there. Obviously they don't stick out like these ones, so it actually looks a lot neater. Just do up your 10mm bolt at the top, like that. You can see it's nice and clean. It doesn't interfere with anything on the back of the door, and you're not losing any visibility either. So the next part we've got to do is to remove our handles. The way our plate mounts is it actually sits centrally here. So we use the fixing points for this, 2 screws from this one, 2 screws from this one, and it mounts the plate on there. You get replacement screws. They're stainless steel and they're 5mm longer to allow to pass through the plate, so you're not going to be losing any strength on those handles if you do use them. It's not as easy as you might think, because this plate is actually precision machined, so those holes are in the right place. However, when Land Rover fitted these door handles, not necessarily perfect precision, so you have to move things around. Don't do anything up tight until you've got all your screws fitted. You might have to have them in at a slight angle, or if you just want to re-drill your holes, you can do that as well. But with a bit of perseverance, you can get it all lined up, and then just drop your covers over. So a nice additional feature you've got on these gas struts is you've got a spring clip that keeps the bolt in place. So you just basically release that, and we give you 2 extra one of those just in case you lose them, and that means that this stud will now pop out of there quite easily. There you go. So it just makes it easier to fit this stud on its own rather than have it attached to the gas strut. It's a little bit tight, so you will have to wind it in probably because of the E-coat that's on there. Is that a 13? Yeah. So the E-coat just makes it a bit of a tight fit, so use your spanner. Rather than knock it through and damage the threads, just give it a slight push as you're using your spanner. There we go, and it's in. You've got a stainless washer to go on the top, and then you've got a stainless nut. 1 spanner on the top, 1 on the bottom, and we're just going to nip that up. And we're going to put this in this side here. So this goes into our bracket. The E-coat in here is really good and thick, so it's what you want out of a piece of laser cut steel to be protected with that, but it is quite thick, so that is a tight fit. So there's the little tiny grub screw that we're going to use to adjust the pressure. So clip it in there like that, clip your other one in as well, then we need to put our clips back on. Right, we're all fitted, so that is the fitment done. Now the really nice thing about the design is the way that it's positioned. The stroke of that gas strut is so perfect that just as it closes, just as it gets to this point, it's gone through its full travel. That means there's no more pressure, and it will then start to open again, which means it will just do the last bit on its own, which I think is brilliant. I think that's a really nice touch, because beforehand on some of them, you know, you were having to push it all the way home and get it shut. Now it's literally opens, bit of pressure to close it, which is good, but look, just closes on its own. It couldn't be a better design, I don't think. So if I let this go on its own, you'll see just how much pressure is involved. But it slows itself down. That's the other thing about this gas strut. It does slow everything down. So it's a really fine adjustment. And the way this works is you just want to release air for 1 second. Releasing it for 1 second is going to make a big difference. And you don't want to be releasing that more than 3 times, because otherwise you're going to let all of the pressure out of your gas strut, and it won't be covered under warranty because you can't refill the gas. So once you've lowered the pressure in this gas strut, you can't increase it again, it's done. But you can buy a replacement strut if, say for instance, you go down the road of fitting a rear wheel carrier later on and you need a slightly stronger gas strut, you can do that. Now these gas struts, the ball end is actually threaded on, so you can rotate this a little bit just to get a better view of that grub screw. Should get a little bit of air out of there, so you just do it for 1 second. Ready? There. Now, that was 1 second release. Let's see what difference it makes to the door. Still get the close, and it's slightly less aggressive, and I think that's probably better than it was before, because again, it's not as bad. I've got no weight on that door whatsoever, so I don't need the full strength of that gas strut. So I've released one off there. Let's do another one and see if it makes a bit more difference. There you go. Still got the close. Just slightly less pressure. So you can see it does make a difference. It's marginal, but I think you'll notice it a lot if you haven't got weight on your door, if you have got weight on your door. So start with the most, and then don't release any more than 3 seconds worth of air. Otherwise, your gas strut is going to be kaput. Now obviously I'm slightly biased because I worked on developing this particular product with Mantec, and I think it's a massive improvement on anything that's on the market. So it's priced really competitively. You can see on screen what the price is today. There's a link in the description below. You can click straight to LR Parts. You can get one yourself. We've only got, I think, 100 at the moment because it's the first delivery. So as far as I'm concerned, this is the upgrade that every single Land Rover 90 or 110 or Defender needs in their life. It's just nice to have Bentley-style self-closing doors, look. How cool is that? Not only that, but it also self-opens and it doesn't blow shut in the wind. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do subscribe. It makes a massive difference to the channel. Give me a thumbs up and I'll catch you on the next one.